I'm a Newfie. That's short for Newfoundland dog. But I'm not sure. I'm big for a dog. I worked on the Titanic as a sea dog, but I didn't expect to become a big legend. Sea dogs like me help fishermen. Usually we swim pull the fishing nets. Fishing is our day job, as my great dog ancestors were Vikings. Sometimes it's our nighttime job too, because fishermen work all hours. Sea dogs are workers too. When you're big, you can be useful around boats. What am I good at? Long distance swimming. Why? Well, I've got these big webbed feet and water repellent fur. 2 coats, really. And I'm powerful at breaststroke. Plus, my tail acts like a rudder. Swimming is what I'm good at. But in emergencies, I'm also a water rescue dog. April 1912 was a special voyage. I was proud of working on this Titanic cruise. That was a first in a lot of ways. The largest steam passenger ship in the world. An unsinkable ship, they said. And I was looking forward to a bit of a holiday. On this maiden voyage, which means first time, although they had an earlier test voyage trying out crew jobs. I was a mascot with a sailor's knot collar. Although there were other dogs in the kennels on boat deck, I had the run of the ship. I was the Titanic mascot. Luckily, the Titanic left Southampton on the 10th of April 1912 en route to New York via Cherbourg, France and Queenstown, Ireland. Well, she was meant to sail to New York, but there were problems, like the berg. Ships are always female, so she left Southampton with 2,227 people on board. That's not counting the cats, rats and a few dogs, the really important ones, because there was going to be a dog show on board. The Titanic smells okay. The kitchens in the galley are my favourite. Galley is the boat word for kitchen. Foodie smells. But I like the kennels too. Get to chat with the other companion animals on board. A few have their noses in the air. The bulldog had an exchange with me. And then I met Sun Yat-sen, the lapdog from first class. Some dogs stay in the kennels on board. A few lived in first-class cabins with their owners. Animals can't count, but we know when there is enough or not enough. The ship carried lifeboats for only 1,178 people. That was not enough. The orchestra played. I like music, but I'm not much of a song and dance dog. I just watch the ladies and gentlemen dance. The ladies' jewels sparkled like the ice outside. Bits of floating ice and the occasional berg. Later, things got more serious. Icebergs are mostly underneath the surface. Our ship was supposed to be iceberg-proof. Wish I could dance, but I'm a bit clumsy and I bump into things. In the water, I'm graceful. So swimming is my sport and my job. Passengers have to be listed even if their names are squiggly and hard to read. At least 9 dogs were listed too. But a few 2-legged and 4-legged friends weren't, like rats and fleas and the kittens. A few got on with their owners when we stopped at Cherbourg, the French port. They travelled first class, like the chicks belonging to Miss Young.
I like to check on my chicks.
Miss Young came from first class to walk her 2 prize-winning roosters and hens on the boat deck near the kennels. In the olden days, on slower vessels, they carried livestock, so the butcher was in charge of the kennels. A dog show was planned for Monday the 15th. They would parade down the grand staircase. Proud owner passengers could come to the kennels and practice walk their dogs on deck any time they liked. First Officer Murdoch, my owner, was busy. In between, the ship's bellboys walked the dogs around the fantail of the Titanic, known as the poop deck. When the ship started to sink, someone let the dogs free from their cages so they'd have a chance. I reckon it was the Colonel. When the lifeboats were launched, some passengers did not believe the Titanic could sink. They stayed in the warm ship rather than go on the freezing Atlantic Ocean. So some boats were not full. That's why a pet dog was in a lifeboat and nobody objected. That dog was not me. I was in the water. Newfies are like the polar bears of the dog world. For 3 hours I kept swimming alongside Lifeboat 4. Ahead was the outline of the Carpathia. The first ship to respond to our distress signals almost ran over Lifeboat 4, which was drifting. People were too weak to cry out for help now, so I started barking. It was so hard to bark and swim, but so important. Unless the steamer Carpathia stopped and saved my lifeboat 4 people, they would die of cold. Noises carry across water. I barked again. The captain said, "Stop engines, I can hear a dog barking. Starboard end of the bridge, look." The big ship stopped. The crew helped the lifeboat passengers aboard via the starboard gangway. They were saved. "Take the dog below too," the captain told the young seaman who became my new owner. But I never forgot First Officer William Murdoch, or the Colonel who opened the kennels, or the others who helped save lives. Did I survive? Yes, I did. As a legend, in this story, and in the story of other Newfies who were rescue dogs, and in my great-great-great-grandpuppies, great-great-grand-grandpuppies.